thing to another and lose value and do all these things. I think we're moving to a more internationalized world, and one of the first greatest steps to that is not having to change your currency. Now, I don't want internationalized world in everything, but I sure want a better form of currency that governments don't have the ability to manipulate. And Bitcoin Cash is that. So go check out Bitcoin Cash. Find out more about it. You can watch some videos to learn everything you need to learn, and you'll be done in, I think, you can watch all the videos in less than 15 minutes. And then you can, if you want, get a wallet. You can get some Bitcoin Cash right there on the site. They'll make it, or actually right there on the within their app that you download. It's bitcoin.com is the place to start. Terribly sorry. Go on.
No worries. So yeah, they'll, on the one side of their mouth, they'll tell you, there's no such thing as a nation. Everyone's welcome in this country, no matter their race or ethnicity. Diversity is our strength. And the other side of their mouth, they'll tell you...
By the way, when did that happen? Because at one point, America was a melting pot. I watched Schoolhouse Rock, and people were jumping into a melting pot. So there was a notion that we all had a melting pot. Now it's diversity. But I don't believe diversity is our strength. I think diversity...
Neither do they.
Okay.
And that was my point, right? It's when you talk about Africa, what's wrong with Africa? The first thing they'll say is colonialism. They put a bunch of people from different groups in one country, and that's why everything's messed up. They drew the borders and put a bunch of diverse groups together.
That sounds fair.
And now they're fighting.
That's fair.
So
sure.
Is diversity our strength? Is it good or is it bad? When they talk about Africa, they say, "Oh, diversity is terrible."
And you're Nigerian.
Not that that matters, right?
Well, I mean, you get to say, and as a Nigerian, you know a little bit more than most Americans about this. And somebody, for whatever reason, there's a logical fallacy that surrounds where you're from and where you live and where you've been and things like that. People will ask sometimes on the air, "Well, have you guys ever been out of the country?" "Yeah, I've been to 35 different countries and 49 states." "Oh. But it doesn't matter."
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's going on. Just because I've been to Greece one time does not mean that I understand the financial crisis that was going on, a few years ago in Greece. These are ridiculous notions, and I wish we'd abandoned them. But yeah, I would agree with you that diversity doesn't work in Africa, is the claim. And then diversity is supposed to work in the United States. That's the claim. I would say, in fact, that people are better off if they attempt to assimilate to the U.S. culture. Now, I'm not advocating necessarily, but I think it's kind of a good idea. When you think about Chinese people, they come up with an English name, right?
Yep.
So they may, their child's name may be, I don't know, whatever, Hung or something like that. But they have a name that they come up with that's for English-speaking purposes.
Yep.
Like Henry.
Yeah.
And we know a Charlie, a Michael, a Samson, a variety of
creative. I know a Odin, a Frost, like some couple cool names they're doing. Asterial, like wow.
Right. And so they either have one that the family made up or the teacher will sometimes assign them one too. And whether or not you like that, it's not your business. The Chinese people have decided that in order to assimilate better into the United States, that it would be better to have an English name.
Yeah.
And they've chosen to do that, and I think that really works. Just looking on the outside, that seems like a step in the right direction to me.
Yeah, you need a common culture to have a nation, right?
I don't know if you need a common culture to have a nation. I don't think the United States has a common culture, but I can tell you that
we're like
I don't even know what a culture is. So, but I can tell you that
you want to be going
English
in the same direction. I don't even know if English necessarily is it can help, right? If you have a common language, it's easier to have a common culture. But I think the most important thing is that you're going in the same direction. When half the country wants to have the biggest government they can imagine and the other half wants a small government, that's going to create a problem, right? It's more that you could have plenty of Hispanics come in who don't speak any English, but they agree with that constitutional republic that was designed. And I think they would fit in perfectly fine in America, where you could have some, British people come over fluent in English, and all of a sudden they're trying to impose their, national healthcare system and everything else like that. And that will create a lot of conflict.
So in your opinion, There's plenty of Americans that want big government, though. So, the desire for big government isn't necessarily indicative of an American culture. It is indicative of some American culture. And I am part of that culture. I want a smaller government, the smallest I can get, and I would like to have it more regionalized. The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. You can give your comments on Corona or culture if you wish.
What does it mean to be American?
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you can go this way?
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, hey.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video or audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make
Wait
a lot of comments. Now,
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
why are you running from me?
Because you're scared me.
You
What am I
need to leave
being
now.
detained for?
You're being served.
What
There
is
you go.
this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Looks like the State Department is telegraphing, perhaps, that they might be shutting down all international flights. I say that because they sent out a memorandum earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. Being here in the U.S. Mariana Islands today and yesterday kind of get blurred for me. Because your today is my yesterday and whatever. So they sent out this advisory that all Americans should return home unless you live in the other country, whatever that means. And well, I imagine a lot of Americans are going to take that pretty seriously. Does that mean that they're going to stop all international flights? I would not have expected states around the country to shut down restaurants and tell people that they could only have food delivered to their house. So I am not prepared to say at this point that the federal government won't shut down international flights. In fact, I would say that this is a telegraph of that particular action that may occur. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Want to tell you real quick about Fork Fest. Fork Fest is an event that we're having in New Hampshire that we do not intend to cancel, but who knows what's going on for the summer. But, you know, as far as we're concerned, we will be there. It's at Rogers Campground in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire, and everything's wild and free. So Pork Fest goes on. Fork Fest is a fork of Pork Fest. Pork Fest will be, there'll be speakers and everything will be sort of laid out and, you know, whatever. Fork Fest, if you want to come, sell food, speak, whatever you want to do, you set it up. It's just a camping event. We're going to have a great time, and we're going to broadcast from there. So the website is forkfest.party. It's July 4th weekend, and we'd love to have you. Forkfest.party. Let's go to the phones. Genevieve is calling in from, I'm not sure where. Maybe this is Alaska. Genevieve, where are you calling from?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Terribly sorry. The state abbreviation for Arkansas is AR. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. What's on your mind, Genevieve?
Well, I know this coronavirus is a pretty serious thing, right?
What's that?
They've shut down bars at 10 o'clock. Walmart now shuts down at 11. Everything closes real early now. Pretty bad, I guess. Out here, they're kind of tripping, freaking out. You know what I mean?
How does shutting things down at 10 help, in your opinion? Or do you think it doesn't?
Well, I think it could, but I think people just taking the precautions that they need themselves, you know, washing their hands, don't touch people. You know, you shouldn't really do that anyways. I mean, considering how germs are and, you know, how they can get sick. But I personally kind of persuade towards thinking that maybe the government created this to control population just a little bit. I don't know. I don't understand.
Which government do you think did it?
Most likely our own, I'd imagine. Or they were
the U.S. government? Okay. That's one of the theories out there is that somehow some government agency has come up with, this virus in order to control.
A way to target older people and people who are, you know, less likely to survive. Yeah.
Why'd they start in China?
It knocks out a lot of people and a lot less, you know, cost to the government.
Why'd they start it in China?
They probably, I don't know. It could have come from China. I'm not quite sure, but
you're not sure?
You know that, you know, they could have. I don't know. I think.
Well, if we want to play devil's advocate,
there's more to it than that. You know.
Yeah.
There's more to it than what they're telling us. And I've always felt like that.
Well, there's always more to any story than what you're getting told. That much is for sure. But I just don't even know. I mean, there's lots of theories out there. I wouldn't hazard a guess as far as this goes. What's your question, Alex?
Have you heard about the theories about online where they're saying that all Walmarts are concentration camps for when they call martial law?
I've not heard that.
I have not heard that.
They have on YouTube. They have videos of a lot of Walmart, and they explain it to you, you know, that in the event that our United States was to call martial law, some crazy things could happen.
Well, Alex, what were your questions? You said you had some devil's advocate questions here.
Yeah, sure. No, I've heard the conspiracy, right? There's a huge pension crisis. Perhaps that's one of the biggest crises the world faces right now.
Right. Illinois is having a huge problem.
You can make an argument this is the perfect move. So the U.S. could start a virus. This is all hypothetical, right? I'm not saying this is what happened or even that I agree with it at all. But hypothetically, if the U.S. wanted to kill 3 birds with 1 stone, they neutralize the rising China, right? The rising geopolitical rival. Start the virus there. It forces supply chains back to America. Because now everyone's thinking the risk of having a supply chain in China is astronomical. They saw in Corona, it got shut down, car parts, medical parts, everything. There's a shortage. In addition, it hurts their economy and sets them back perhaps years. In addition, notice that Iran... Well, who will recover faster? Who's better positioned for this? A richer country, right? And then look at the other countries hit hard. The next biggest country after China was Iran. And all of a sudden, like, key Iranian figures are dying from Corona, which is surprising, right? Why did Iran get it so fast? It's not particularly close to China or strong ties. It's like you have 2 geopolitical enemies of the U.S. suffering from this crazy disease. And then in the U.S., the old people falling. It's a compelling narrative, but I think it starts to fall apart as why would we want Europe to get it? Our allies in Europe, why would we want so many Americans to get it? Why would we want to shut down the whole U.S. economy? So I think had it stayed in China, had it stayed in Iran, this narrative would be far more compelling and just killed off a small number of old people. But the fact that they're shutting down the entire economy, J.P. Morgan's predicting 15% GDP fall in Q2. There's no way that the American government, which is heavily influenced by big business, would do this to themselves.
Yeah, well, I understand that too, but it's just the theories that are going around on the internet and everything, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to be in home and compliant, and not everything's closing down. We can't go out and have a beer. We can't.
Well, have a beer at home, get the shotgun and the Bible.
We won't even be able to go into the grocery store,
Yeah, it's pretty awful. Thank you for the call, Genevieve. Appreciate it. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I think this is how Americans are feeling. Right? Like, in a lot of cases, they don't know who's to blame, but they don't like it. And obviously, this is pretty clear, right? The governments of the world have failed in, to a lesser or greater extent, in providing whatever safety we're supposed to have. Now, I've said on the air in recent episodes that if we're going to have a state, that state's major role, like the one thing that they should do, is somehow control global pandemics. And that's not their... I mean,
how?
I don't know how they're going to do it. What I'm saying is that they have spent no time prior to this
always wins.
Figuring it out. I'm not saying that it won't. Look, your house will eventually be covered in ivy that then tears it apart, and the roof falls off. But today, it doesn't rain. And what governments are doing, what politicians are doing, is busy shoving money in their pockets. Right? Every single one of them is a millionaire when they leave. They're all rich when they leave. They know exactly how to bilk you out of money. They want to, build up the military. They want to do everything out there. But their one job, the one thing that they really should be doing, and that rarely do they ever have to do, this is like the security guard. That one time in 10 years when the parts department gets broken into. They fail, and they fail a lot. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE as in freedom.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
Have you ever watched a video on the internet and found yourself waiting for the skip the ad button? The reason this takes a few seconds is because the video delivery companies get to collect impression commission, and the viewer never sees the advertisement. The company still pays full price to run the ad. Does this sound like a scam to you? Is there any wonder why internet ads are so ineffective? For over 100 years, radio has been a proven source for companies' messages. Radio listeners are engaged and want to support the companies that sponsor the shows they're so passionate about. Simple companies like window treatments, security, pillow companies, and more have been able to break away from the big box stores, building multi-million-dollar businesses. Find out what radio can do for your business. Call 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com. That's advertise at gcnlive.com.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. Free Talk Live. That's one of our focuses here in Free Talk at Free Talk Live is human freedom. And human freedom is on the ropes right now. Whether you understand it or not, when things get scary, people turn to the state. They're like, solve our problems. Now, the state's traditionally been very terrible at this, but when people feel like things are out of control, they want some organization that will project some kind of control. And the state was happy to project control. It's shutting down bars and restaurants. It's restricting travel. As a matter of fact, I just got a message from United Airlines here. This is a text. It says, due to presidential proclamation, non-U.S. citizens who have visited the countries listed on united.com/important notices, the 14 days before their flight will be denied into the U.S. Citizens, their immediate family members, and permanent residents are exempt from this rule. However, they will be subject to additional health screenings and may be required to self-quarantine for 14 days. So, required to self-quarantine sounds pretty good to an American because it means I'll do whatever I want, right?
It means no quarantine.
That's what it means.
That's what I heard.
But it's the government telling you must go home and stay in your house. You're not allowed to leave. Presumably somebody else would go to the grocery store and do shopping for you and things like that. And I don't know what visited means. What does visited a country mean? I'm going to be traveling, for the ladies and gentlemen, for those who do not know, I'm in the U.S. Mariana Islands right now. Alex and I are. And I will be traveling back to the United States because the State Department, on the 23rd, so a few days from now, because the State Department sent out this memorandum that said all U.S. citizens must return home. Now, I would have stayed here and think it would be better to stay here. But my wife wants to be, certainly very reasonably wants to be back with the parents because they're older and they may need help, and we don't want to be we don't want to be separated if they get sick or something like that. And I think that's a fair thing to want. So off we go, But I will be traveling through Narita Airport. And that means that I'll be in Japan very briefly, like less than an hour. Hopefully all the planes land on time. And just, pop from one to another. Does that mean I have visited Japan?
I'm sure United can clarify if you really want to know.
I don't want to call them and spend the hour that it's going to take to get through. Customer service in these places is just going bonkers. Yeah. I had to cancel another flight and... it's just going bananas. So anyway, it's crazy out there. And I think that in part, one of the things that people are speculating on, and I do not think that this is the most bizarre and craziest of speculations, right? I don't know if the government created this. I think that that is a conspiracy theory that may or may not be true. There's no way for us to prove it. And, whatever, we can talk all day about it. But I think that it's likely in the future as a prediction that they may stop interstate travel. Going from one state to another.
They can try, but how?
I don't know.
They can't secure the border to Mexico. How can they secure all of the state borders?
If they put one state trooper with his car parked across the bridge between Brattleboro and Chesterfield, New Hampshire, then nobody's going from Brattleboro to Chesterfield.
Right, but if you just walk across the border... It's the same thing.
I don't want to leave my car.
You can make the same argument with Mexico, right? Uh-huh. If you drive up the highway, you're not getting through without papers.
Right.
So people don't go up the highway.
I understand. It's possible to get across.
Certainly. I'm sure some entrepreneurial guy will, open up his little farm, let people drive over for $50 and make a killing. All you need is one person to do that.
Well, but he won't last long.
Why? What is he doing? He's saying... My property straddles the border of two states. I'm welcoming these people to my property. Is that against the law, officer? What law? Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
Well, is all they have to do is hand out an executive order because the people are shutting down restaurants based on executive orders right now.
Yeah.
So
not here.
No, I don't think there is an executive order. But some people are shutting down restaurants here. I went to a restaurant last night, shut down.
Yeah, and that's because of the lack of the customers, not because fiat, right? So
probably.
I think what we're circling around, we all would agree the government has failed us. Left, right, middle, don't believe in the paradigm at all. Everyone can agree the government has not done a good job. The question is, what should they do? What should they have done better? What should they do now? And I think that's what's worth discussing about, because it's not over, right? They can reverse these executive orders tomorrow. They could work to improve things.
Let's not forget
today.
that it's not the coronavirus that caused the world economic collapse that's in play right now.
It's fear.
Well, it's the government's moves too. I mean, there's fear that's behind it, but in many cases, it's the state. The state shutting this thing down or that thing down. And by state, I mean the organization that claims a monopoly privilege over the use of violence in a given landmass. I'm not talking about Iowa. In America, we tend to get those things confused. But Americans need to understand who is actually causing these problems. The people that we're looking to solve the problems are the ones causing the problems. And how do we fix that? Well, I don't have an answer, because I think that the coronavirus is inevitable. It was inevitable. Ladies and gentlemen, it was inevitable that a virus would come along that would attack the weak in some way. In this case, it's attacking the old. And in some manner or another, attack the weak and, wipe some people out. Well,
yeah, it happens every year. It's called flu season, right?
I think flu still is killing more people than even during the time frame that coronavirus has been around. The flu still has killed more people.
By a lot.
By a lot. And
what's the total death count around the world? 7,000?
Nobody's scared of the flu.
Yeah, and that's why I said fear is the big problem. And
the flu mutates every single year.
Go to waste.
We don't know if corona is going to even mutate. We don't know what its mutation time frame is or anything like that. Maybe corona is just a thing now.
Yeah, maybe. And we'll have to adapt to it. And if we adapt the way we're doing now, I'm concerned, right? If the solution is a disease kills a couple thousand people, let's shut down the entire economy, create mass unemployment, just cause chaos that the world's never seen before in a time of peace. That doesn't sound like a good solution to me.
No, it seems like a terrible solution. Do you have any ideas?
I think there needs to be more discussions about how to keep the economy running. Can we build herd immunity and make everyone who's young and healthy? What happens if they just continue as normal and we quarantine the older people? If you're old, have some kind of autoimmune disease.
I don't care whether, as an old person, you choose not to go outside or choose to go outside. If you want to go outside and French kiss everybody you see as an octogenarian, as long as that person consents to the French kissing, then as far as I'm concerned, that's your business. If you die in short order, again, those are the consequences of actions. We have actions. Currently, before Corona, we had actions. And before Corona, actions had consequences. So if an 80-year-old, I think 80-year-olds should stay in, and I think we should all offer everybody over the age of 65 that we know, we should offer to them. And I mean, obviously this needs to be parsed out to different people, but if we all took one older person that we would deliver things to, okay, what do you need from the grocery store? Let me get that for you. Whatever, they can Venmo you the money, whatever it is, figure it out.
Send some Bitcoin.
Send some Bitcoin, send some Intercoin, send some Divvy, whatever it is. They can help you. They'll give you some money and help them. If they want to quarantine, help them. Yeah. And I think that's it.
Well, I think the most important thing is we need to make our policies based on logic, not fear. And I think that's our greatest mistake is, why are they shutting down places after 10 p.m.? Is it after 10 p.m. Corona comes out in force? I just don't understand what the logic is behind these policies. It seems more like they're just trying to make people think they're doing something, regardless of whether or not it works.
That's what I think it is I really believe ultimately that this is a thing to make Trump look bad. He wasn't doing enough. You should elect Joe Biden. He can't find his car keys.
They're going to need a worse virus if that's their strategy.
Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,505, silver at $12.14, and Bitcoin is trading around $5,258. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin pitched his trillion-dollar-plus bailout for Americans and their companies struggling during the COVID-19 crisis, it appears he has ripped a page right out of the TARP playbook, scared the senators to death about the consequences of not approving the funds. That's according to a report from Activist Post. Bloomberg reports that according to sources familiar with the matter, Mnuchin warned the Senate GOP members that without action, the U.S. unemployment rate could spike to a stunning 20%. With a total labor force of around 160 million, that would mean a sudden spike to over 30 million unemployed Americans. Those are Depression-era levels of job losses, which prompted the New Deal and the welfare state the last time it happened. This time, MMT, UBI, and socialized losses come for everyone. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Is a global recession already beginning as the vast majority of the U.S. and other countries' workforce grinds to a halt while large cities begin to receive shelter-in-place directives? Yes, says Goldman. And more top economists are saying Tuesday it's a near certainty. State unemployment numbers are about to bear that out. The Mind Unleashed reports that a new Marist poll this week for NPR PBS News found 18% of U.S. adults responding they'd already been laid off or had significant reduction of hours due to the ripple effect of the pandemic. For an indicator of just how high national unemployment may skyrocket, look no further than Ohio, which on Sunday night declared a health emergency and shut down all bars and restaurants statewide. The statewide ordered shutdown of dining and drink establishments by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine on Sunday night impacted about 10% of the state's workforce. That's some 500,000 people. Spanish police are taking a page out of China's Orwellian playbook by using drones to patrol and yell at their civilians who are disobeying the COVID-19 quarantine. Activist Post reports the country issued a state of emergency on Friday. And on Saturday, the government ordered everyone in the country to stay home for all but the most crucial trips outdoors, according to Business Insider. Now, much like China did earlier this year, Spanish police are using drones to demand that citizens stay indoors without having to approach them and risk spreading the virus. Video from the BBC shows police speaking into a radio and urging people walking through a Madrid park to go home. That message is then relayed into a drone utilizing a loudspeaker flying overhead, demanding Spain citizens quarantine themselves inside their homes. Spain has been one of Europe's hardest hit countries, after Italy, with a death toll of 509 deaths and 11,000 cases of infections. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It was a big night for music's hottest acts, especially for Lord Chillingsworth. In a shocking upset, the young artist took home the spookiest Halloween sound effect album Grammy for Creepy Night in Halloween Manor. Music blogger Ty Vaughn is here. Ty, what a shocker.
Lord Chillingsworth's track, Man Being Boiled Alive While Chains Rattle in a Dungeon, was crazy spooky. It was everywhere this year. Haunted houses, Halloween stores, nighttime hayrides. Anywhere you look, people were getting the willies from this album.
But a lot of people thought Grammy darling Dr. Spookenstein was a shoo-in to win for his album Laboratory of Madness.
And that was a great album. Critics praised Spookenstein's stripped-down approach, rattling real bones together and dripping real blood onto a screaming lady.
The class act Spookenstein offered a gracious congratulations to Chillingsworth, saying, "I'm a fan of every bloody who was nominated, especially Chillingsworth. I have a skeleton ton of respect for him as an artist. I just saw him on the red carpet and congratulated him."
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever is on your mind. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
We are talking about, well, the same thing that everybody's talking about out there, the coronavirus, COVID-19. This big...
The boomer remover.
The boomer remover. Yeah, that's cruel. And China virus is the other thing they're calling it. And then what was it before that? The Kung Fu flu?
Yeah.
This thing's had a bunch of names. I think that it's worth talking about and worth finding out what Americans are thinking about it, because I think a lot of people are just sort of running scared right now and don't know what to do. Just kind of bebopping around and trying to figure it out. Let's go to Greg in New York. Greg, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, yeah. What a change to the entire world. Wow.
Right.
It's crazy. But I wanted to kind of pick up the topic of government versus technology. And I'm sort of a techno-libertarian, as I like to say. I want to replace a lot of the government function with technology. And so I was wondering, government has blunt instruments like restricting people to a city block or restricting them from going from one end of the city to the other or between cities. And I'm not sure how that's supposed to stop a virus when the sick and the healthy are supposed to be in the same city block and simply infect each other. But I think when South Korea started using phones and looking at people's address books, that gave a lot of benefit to targeting exactly what it would be. I think there should be an app, for example, that you install and that has something like a 14-day challenge to stay at home, sends you notifications every day saying, what are your symptoms? And it lists, like, do you have a headache? Do you have this? Do you have that? And your gender and your age. And then puts those statistics anonymously, fuzz your location a little bit, puts those out for the public and the experts to actually analyze and see connections between people. We could actually solve a lot of these problems because people would trust their private data to an app that doesn't send it anywhere rather than to the government.
Maybe. I would also think the app could, for instance, just thinking, Trump's handing out $1,000, right, to everybody for some reason. What about having this? If you stay home, what about making it $1,400 if you stay $100 a day that you stay home and don't leave the house? There's a way to make it all make sense. But you're saying non-government, right?
Non-government, although that is a cool idea to pay people to stay home. But yes, non-government.
I wish we could pay the government to stay home.
That would be cool. Yeah, and non-corporate even. So no corporation, no Facebook, no Google. This app, your personal data is on your phone, and you decide, here's my family, here's my friends, here's my neighbors and coworkers. I share with them my updates. No one else. No one knows else that I have symptoms, etc. But I would like to see what's happening around me anonymously. Maybe my area is full of people that are infected. I don't even know. But the app can show you this. The government can't. The government doesn't do that. So that's something that is, I think, very essential for pandemics like this.
Now, you do have some kind of social app called Cubics, right?
Yes. Yeah, I build apps at Cubics.
Now,
groups.
Would there be any capacity for that to be expanded to something like this?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm working on this right now. Some of my friends are helping me fund this project. I should have more information in a few days about groups.app. I think I will have something like that. And because we already have so many users around the world in 100 countries, I think we have something like 7 million people that have downloaded groups over the years. I think we're in a good position to try something like this. But I don't have all the answers, and we're still figuring it out. But I think at least we should be anonymously collecting this information and putting it out for the public to see on a map and to
I don't
download
think there are
a
answers.
data set.
My opinion on this, from what I've heard from the news, is there simply are not answers. That at this point we're moving the deck chairs around on the Titanic, and I mean the Titanic in so much as there will be a world with coronavirus after this that looks, different but remarkably similar to the world that we have today. And that everything that we're doing is just essentially crashing the economy and making people's lives miserable.
Oh, yeah. It's totally the wrong approach. I think South Korea, by appropriating technology, had more of a right approach. I'll give one example, which I'd love for you guys to maybe think about, and that's this. What if the app combined with testing centers would have the testing center issue a certificate of that you've stayed at home for a few days, you had a home kit mailed to you because they just approved one of those, you get it mailed, and when you get the certificate on your app, you can get together with other people that are also clean for events. You can return back to work. So people should have a certificate, but it has to work together with the testing centers. And no one's working together with anybody when it comes to that stuff. So that's what I think needs to be fixed.
I wouldn't even know how to get a test right now. I honestly wouldn't know. I mean, like this stuff should be available on Amazon. You give me a box of 20. That way I can, 24 of them. That way the whole family can test ourselves every few days just to make sure.
I'll say one last thing about this. I had this idea years ago because growing up, when you have sex with someone, you don't know if they have HIV or something like that. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if people could get tested? And the culture was, show me your phone, I'll show you my phone. These are the latest times we got certificates that we're HIV-free, and that way you have a little bit less of a scare, and the virus might actually not spread as much. I think something like that could be used in Africa, it could be used in Russia. It's not just this pandemic, but any virus can benefit from certificates of health issued by testing centers.
Yeah, I'm totally on board, and I think your general premise of technology being a great way to solve problems is 100% the right approach.
Well, technology is what provides us with freedom, not the government.
Yeah.
I mean, humans today are far freer than they were 100 years ago, and a lot of that freedom, most of that freedom, has come from technology, and it allows all kinds of things, and including a technology you've been working on, Greg, and I want you to explain it to me here on air if you could take a moment or two to do it. Intercoin.
Sure.
Now, Intercoin's recently become an advertiser here on Free Talk Live. We have accepted money to talk about Intercoin, but at the same time, I only accept the advertiser. We will only accept advertisers that we have some kind of belief in, that we've tested out. I think that I think this is a very interesting project. Please go on.
Sure. Well, I think if the government starts to control the money supply, and in this case, I think that's very likely because people go home from work, the white-collar workers can continue, the baristas at Starbucks and the entertainment industry and the event industry and everybody cannot. So then the government will have to figure out, we're going to send money to these sectors or create jobs here, etc. And so essentially people will start saying, well, what about our community? And by community, it could be a local community or it could be a society of poets or whatever conglomeration of people it is. Might say, maybe we should issue our own currency. Maybe we should have something without the state, something where we can continue to, pay one another in this currency and do services for one another in our community without having to wait for these, frankly, large organizations to come in and figure out what it is we need. We know what we need. And so if we could do that, then there needs to be a technology to do that. So I looked around, and my partners, we looked around and we saw that Bitcoin and Ethereum were just not scalable enough to allow 1 million people to pay one another at the same time. It's more for like once-in-a-while transaction.
Greg, can you hold the line just for a second? I want you to continue explaining Intercoin, but I want you to be able to do it without, any difficulties here. Just hold the line. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. You should call in. Talk about this corona, this new world that's being created by the reaction to corona virus or COVID-19 or whatever we're going to call this thing. I don't know. The hockey puck virus. It's the hockey stick virus, right? Like it's first the infections are small and they shoot up. It's Mark with you.
And Alex.
Talking to Greg in New York about Intercoin. Let's get Greg right back here on the airwaves. Greg, go ahead. You had started talking about Intercoin, and you were seeing how the U.S. dollar and cryptocurrencies as they exist today weren't meeting the needs that you were hoping to meet.
Yeah, I looked at crypto, and, when I was growing up, crypto meant cryptography. It didn't mean cryptocurrency.
It sort of means that still, but yes.
Yeah, crypto. So I figured, the cypherpunks, the people that, Phil Zimmerman and the whole PGP and all that kind of stuff, built a world where people could use end-to-end encryption and all that kind of cool stuff. And so I look at crypto today, and it reminds me a little bit of what I saw with, historical. The Mayans had a wheel, but they didn't really use it for, look at how many things the wheel is used for, but somehow, in Native Americas before Columbus, they used wheels for toys, but they didn't really use wheels for anything. Maybe because they didn't have any animals to.
The Egyptians had a rudimentary steam engine that could sort of fly around, and they never built a train.
Exactly, and so we have crypto technology, and it's capable of helping us to vote from home from our phones, and govern organizations and There's so many things we could do, and instead we have an architecture that is like a global blockchain, and everything in the world has to go into a block. And we have these wars of like Craig Wright versus Roger Ver, how big the block size will be. And it's like, come on, dude, like cryptography can power unlimited numbers of transactions for the whole world. You just need a better, different architecture. And so Intercoin was started to do that architecture. And it's become a project which is designed to help enable governance of your local communities, different styles of voting, different ballots. You could vote on how the money supply will be used. The money supply is totally voluntary, so you don't have to use it, but many people are expected to. Just the same way that you use Visa payments, even though it's not fiat, but you choose to use it. And the fees, the little percentage that you spend on Visa, could have better uses to do things like, hey, ending food insecurity and helping people in your own community instead of the federal government doing it for you. So that's the idea of Intercoin, totally voluntary money that is based on something beyond blockchain, something much faster and more scalable. That was the idea of Intercoin.
And you've already had a great deal of success with your previous apps as far as adoption and these sorts of things. And Intercoin will integrate to some extent with these huge communities that you have online.
Yes. Basically, the technology is just one aspect, but also adoption is very important. So just so happens, I've been working on this kind of stuff for 9 years. Not just me, but we have a development team, and all over, we've been, I think, probably spent, I'm going to guess, close to 100,000 hours probably collectively on all this kind of stuff. So we happen to reach 7 million users around the world. By that, I mean we attracted them. They downloaded the app. Not everyone stuck around, but now we have apps used 1.3 million times a month by people in 100 countries. So when we roll out Intercoin, it's going to look like Apple Pay or Facebook, those buttons where you pay people on Facebook. It won't look like Bitcoin or Ethereum where you have to download a wallet and I'll do the stuff. It'll already be in your community app, which we already have and we put out there.
Greg, I'm really interested in what you're going to do to address this coronavirus thing with Intercoin, and I want you to keep us updated as the next few weeks as to what's going on and how you're addressing it, because it's teams like your team that are going to truly help save the world. Can you tell people how to find out more about Intercoin?
Sure. Just go to intercoin.org. That's intercoin.org. You could see there all the different applications of Intercoin. And I should point out, Intercoin is still in an early stage compared to my other company, Cubix. We're still building the technology, but because we've architected it from beginning to end, we know, and we've documented everything. We know that it's possible. We know that we're building it, and once it's built, we could put it into all of our existing communities. So in a sense, there's not the risk of, there's a little bit of development risk because, hey, maybe we won't be able to develop it and we miss something. But everything else, the adoption risk is not really there because we have the communities already, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a way to sort of support the next generation of money and crypto, because I believe that Bitcoin had a great chance. But there needs to be something 10 years later. There needs to be something to really get crypto to be adopted. Because otherwise, if we do not do this, then Facebook, Amazon, and all these giant corporations will be in charge of all our payments and be the middlemen and middlewomen the same way that they are for our social networks and communications. Currently, they're going to continue. And this year, Facebook's going to roll out WhatsApp, the Calibra wallet, and even Telegram's going to roll out something, the Ton network, but they're all centralized. And we need something for the people, something that we can trust in our own communities. So that's basically the vision.
Intercoin.org. Greg, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. We need something, and we also need some place, right? Some place to test out these solutions and continue innovating in the market of living together.
Yeah, options is great, and he's absolutely right that these big corporations, they determine who gets to have a voice. It used to be that YouTube was chock full of voices, libertarian voices, voices of people who had, fascinating ideas, and now if they determine for whatever reason your voice, the leftists don't like your voice enough that we're just going to have to get rid of you.
You gotta be advertiser friendly.
Right. Well, yeah, whatever it is, they're just not going to let you talk. Okay, well, you've had your chance to talk. We found that, even, although a lot of people like you, because they're not going to kick you off if you don't have a bunch of followers. Yeah. A bunch of people like you, but a bunch of people don't like you, and we're not going to give you any explanation. Goodbye. I mean, it's a pretty unsatisfying experience.
Yeah.
People feel like they have a right to a platform to speak. If everybody else has it, why don't I have it? And they want to know why you broke up with them. These are two things that people want to have.
If you want a platform to speak, you can always call into Free Talk Live.
That's true. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. There are some words you can't say, but, other than that, you're free to call in. 855-450-3733 or discord.freetalklive.com.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food. Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to